Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports, and today we have the head boys basketball coach for Raytown South, Mr. Reggie Morris. How you doing, Reggie?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself, Carlos?
We doing all right. Hey, Reggie, I had learned that you had left Grandview, and now you're over at Raytown South. Uh, Talk about what what you plan to do there, what kind of athletes you have, and we're gonna leave Grandview alone, uh, and the future that you want to build over there at Raytown South.
Basically, same congregation, different church, bringing the culture that I established at Grandview, pretty much doing the same things, uh, having kids held to a higher standard in all areas of their life. This is more than just about basketball. It's giving them skills, habits that they need in their foundation that's going to allow them to be successful men after high school. I build my program just like any other college program, early morning workouts after school, class checks, academics, things of that nature. So, if you set expectations at a high level off the court, then setting the expectations on the court will be a lot easier. So, just doing very much the same similar things that I did in my 6, 7 years at Grandview. That helps not only just for winning basketball games, but developing young men to be champions for life.
Hey, Coach, tell me what your record was out at Grandview.
113 and 40 something, 42,
Uh,
7 years.
what kind of team do you have over here at Raytown South right now? Talk about what I know that you haven't worked with them, but what are you looking and who should we be looking at?
We have a strong senior class of guys that are returning, have a couple transfer students that'll be coming in and being welcoming additions as well. As always, there's basketball talent or talent period at Raytown South. However, as it's traditionally known as a basketball school, um, the talent here is still here, and I'm just welcome with the opportunity to kind of keep on carrying on the legacy and the tradition of the program. So, um, they had a very similar situation with the COVID, where traditionally, either neither one of us, Grandview or Ray South, which have traditionally been fighting for the conference championship. We weren't in the battle for the conference championship. I think Platte County and Ruskin tied for it last year. So those two schools, I would have to say right now, Platte County would probably be, with what they have returning, be picked to possibly win it if there was a selection of that preseason conference wise. But we have good talent here all around. I think we're going to surprise some people as the season moves on and the kids get adjusted to playing, basketball in a different style than they probably played, in the past.
That's this is preseason, but you've talked to your kids and what have you. That was my next question. How are the kids buying into your philosophy and your style of playing?
I was very fortunate when I accepted a job in June, middle of June, that I was able to uh, work with the kids for 2 weeks. Quickly had 2 workouts, try to put some stuff in, and then we went and played 16 games. Out of those 16 games, we were able to win 12 of them. So I thought they bought in, especially defensively, but understanding the pressure and what we expect from a defensive standpoint. and then just understanding, that our offense is our defense, and then getting in transition and making great plays for their teammates. So that 2 weeks was very, very important. It's made our preseason that we're going through now a lot easier in terms of, getting some things implemented that will help make our opening of the uh, season in a couple of weeks with practices starting on November 1st a lot easier. So they bought in tremendously. Um, we've been very fortunate that we started with our new uh, strength and conditioning coach in the summer, and now we have it where all our kids are seeing the strength and conditioning coach 4 times a week, which is going to help tremendously. And because that hasn't been a facet, that was another facet that was part of the selection, that they have a strength and conditioning program, 2 of them here, where I can allow them to develop them because they have more of an expertise in that area, which will make our athletes even better, quicker, stronger, faster. So that was important. And so we got early morning shooting workouts, and then after school conditioning and skill development. So kids are excited. I'm getting 8 to 10 kids at 5:30 in the morning to get up out of the bed, which is kind of strange, especially coming out of the pandemic where many of them just sleep all day and play games all night on their gaming system. So
I thought that was just my grandson doing that all summer.
no, that's the culture of teenagers right now, is that they will stay up until 4 or 5 in the morning and play their gaming system. So like I told my guys, you're putting more work in on the gaming system than you are on your skill development. And I don't know. I know there's some people that are making money, but very few that I know that you're going to make some money by the hours that you're putting in, for playing on the gaming system compared to going out and working on your skill set or reading or writing or doing something that's going to help you, in the future.
What seniors? You still never gave me any players that you think that our viewers need to be looking out for following their career. And I said seniors, but what players do you think uh, we need to look out for?
I'll start with some of the returning guys that, that's been here in the program. Shondell Ross, who is a senior forward wing guy that will very athletic, tough, hard nosed. He's been in the program. This will be his 4th year. We also have Desmond Bowles, who point guard, will run the show, tough, very grindy. He'll be an aspect. Sarek Wright, wing guy that shoots the ball well. For us, Funzel Hill will be pretty much our post guy, 6'5", 6'6".
Is he a banger?
Hmm.
Is he a banger? Rough,
Yes.
ready inside.
Yeah. We'll run. I always have to have someone down in the post as much as the game is changing, has been perimeter oriented. However, I've been very fortunate to have, 2 to 3 guys here that aren't afraid to, to take advantage of what I see right now as one of the weaknesses in basketball, is that, especially at the high school level, there's no post defense. So we try to expose that and use that as an asset where, everybody's playing on the perimeter, but working on that perimeter defense. But a lot of coaches, a lot of high school players don't really facet the understanding of how to defend in the post. So we're going to try to expose that with our guys and take advantage of that. Then we've been very fortunate to have 2 transfer guys. One, Tyrese Cannon from Leavenworth. He's a very, very talented young man. Has some colleges looking at him very, very much. And then we have Naeem Williams, who transferred from Truman. So we have some pieces that I think that, if we continue to work hard, continue to build in the culture things that come February will be something to reckon with.
Uh, with Cascade Sports being home of the student athlete, how important is that educational part of your program?
Well, I teach the guys, and give them various example of guys that who have gone on and played after high school and have gone on and got their college degree. The basketball is only a platform that allows you to springboard into that next level of life. With the percentage of kids that are able to actually receive a scholarship uh, or actually to make a living playing basketball, it's very important that they understand that uh, the old principle I use the basketball, don't let the basketball use you. So being a counselor as I am in the school setting and understanding, the requirements to get in school, college, but most of all, just having the skills and the habits to be successful. It's not all about, book knowledge. It's about understanding the ins and outs of how to be successful in life. There's a lot of people who are successful in life that aren't in sports or don't have a college degree. But you have to figure out what your niche is and make it work for you.
I want to retrograde a minute when you were talking about down low. Uh, I was living in a different era of basketball, like almost Bob Cousy, and one of my partners that was at ESPN for 15 years and what have you. He's down in Virginia coaching, and I was talking to him about playing down low, and he was like, "Nelson, they don't do that no more. The big men, they pull up at the top of the key because even though I have Sports Network, I don't watch it. And really, what strikes me now, you bringing old school back to the court because you see that there's an opportunity to exploit some things, and I want to commend you on that. That for you high school and college students that are watching this interview, the what I'm talking about right now, that's what good coaches do. They look at what's going on and they're able to see this is something I can exploit.
Right, right, right. Well, I mean, it's just, you have to also look at where kids are talented at, yeah. Uh, but I think in regards to what needs to be done to help put your team in the best position to be successful, as well as use the kids' talent that they have. Everybody is not, a 3-point shooter. Everybody doesn't. I've been fortunate enough that I have guys don't, hey, understand that if I'm going to be effective, I want to help my team. All right, then I can eat here in the paint.
I love that because our
Yeah,
motto is go hard in the paint.
right, right, right. And I think that aspect of the game has been lost, you know, uh, in our kids. You got 6'7", 6'8" guys that are, playing on. When you look at the NBA guy, look at Giannis. He's out on the perimeter. You look at so many people that, uh, that aspect of the game has deteriorated from the game. But I'm blessed again to be able to have some kids that understand that and have bought into understanding that how they can be successful and get themselves not only for their team to be successful, but to get their chances of being able to get a scholarship
Yeah,
as
well, that's
well.
what we're about. Hey, Coach, I want to ask you this, and before we close, how important is it for you to have a good administration behind you uh, to create that winning program? And how do you feel about the student body participation when it comes to moving your team forward?
Well, that was probably one of the another decisions of why I came to Ray South. We have a legacy in terms of leadership here. I don't think there's no one else in this area that's been a principal in a building for 24 years. I knew that coming back to school with after the kids had been in transition, that the culture of the building, the culture of the community was going to be very pivotal. I'm not a guy that likes a lot of drama, a lot of negativity. So this was more in terms of what was an opportunity for me to come in a building and be a positive asset during a time where education and the transition back to high school or school period was going to be a tough one. So obviously, again, Ray South has great tradition as a basketball program, but also as a sports school from that aspect, and the support that I've received here, and long in terms of being able to upgrade some facilities, those types of things, and provide support for our program in areas that we need so that we can grow. Were instrumental in my decision in coming here. So I cherish and will always, Grandview will be great to my heart after putting 15 years there. But it was just time for a change. And, like I said at the beginning, same congregation, just a different church.
Yeah, well, Coach Morris, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. And we look forward to covering a couple of your games. I think I said to you off camera, there's one man that I want to acknowledge. I got up to look for his picture. It has fallen behind my daggone, and that's Bud Lathrop. Bud Lathrop, Cascade Sports will always be tied together. Bud did my first interview when I couldn't get no coaches to come on. I had the little small Sony camera, and I was going to the games and stuff in '08, and I didn't know who that man was. I was going to Oak Park. I'd see him over at Oak Park at the games, and I'm like, who is this old white man? And then I'm just telling you, the audience can say what they want. And Bud would see me, and then I was like, Mister, what's your name? He was like, my name is Bud Lathrop. And then he told me a little bit about it. I was like, I've been trying to do some videos and stuff. He said, Carlos, I'll come on your show, and once I come on, the coaches will come on. Sure enough. Sure enough. First interview we ever did on Cascade Sports with
that's
Bud
awesome.
Lathrop. And then the second one was Coach Rodney Perry. He was out at Avila. And those relationships like this.
Right.
And so this season, I'm giving you the ups. And now that you're there, we are giving out the Bud Lathrop Award. And that's going to Coach Mike Hilbert. Mike Hilbert, I think, represents some of the things that Bud, and especially how the suburban schools versus the urban city schools, and now a lot of suburban schools are considered urban schools. And he's retiring, and I think this year, and I think he's a perfect candidate for what Bud represented, and we want to try to do that at a Raytown South game this year. But
okay.
As we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. And for all you ballers think y'all can take on Cascade Sports, remember, we go hard in the paint, and baby, we go hard.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.